This is why I started Double O Direct. Because of the women I am hosting today. I've already had the incredible Aomo Omoro. Doctor, please don't get it twisted. But now I also have the incredible Terryanne Chebet, the amazing Mandi and the most talented Claire Odongo. I know some of you are very, very shy. I know Mandi is probably on the Insta Live, right?
I'm not, but
please, Terryanne, introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having us this morning. My name is Terryanne Chebet. I am the CEO of Care Botanicals. It's a skincare business. We draw all our oils from across Africa, shea butter from East Africa, marula from South Africa. So we are very proudly African skincare brand. And we started doing it because my daughter has eczema, which is a dry skin condition, and so her doctor advised that we start with shea butter, and today we have about 16 products.
You know, there's someone who's so jealous. His name is Brian Amiliotto. He designed the poster with you ladies, and he was like, Double O, I don't know, I don't work Saturdays, but welcome, Terry and Mandi.
oh, thank you so much for having me, Olivia. I'm Mandi Zaro, the owner and founder of Miss Mandi Throwdown. We create interactive video content to educate people about, a culinary journey, give them some great culinary wisdom about food, and to top it off, we have great functioning kitchen products courtesy of MMTD Kitchens. That's what we do over at Miss Mandi Throwdown.
MMTD Kitchens. I remember I was heavily pregnant. I was there waddling around London town. I got a call from Mandi. She's like, Olivia, I'm thinking about doing, some, content, some video things with food. I don't know. What do you think? Mandi, look how you grow.
I know. We started back in the day, 8 years ago.
So well.
Thank
Tell
you.
me, Claire, welcome to Double O Direct. Tell me about Interiors by Claire.
Asante sana, Olivia. My name is Claire Odongo. I'm the founder and lead creative at Interiors by Claire. We are a design studio based in Nairobi, Kenya, and we love to rebirth spaces. So our tagline is rebirthing spaces, and when we say rebirthing, for us it's revival, newness in our homes, and just giving opportunities to families to just experience newness, not just in their spaces, but in their lives, in their families, in their marriages, and that's the joy we get when we rebirth.
You
space.
can rebirth my space to help my marriage.
No,
Okay.
there's the whole
I'm just
place.
putting you on the spot. I'm just because you're gonna get many calls. Huh? It's a pandemic.
What I mean
is a pandemic. So
what I mean
yeah.
is when we make the spaces,
Yes.
families come together, people gather. You get to realize when you interact with clients, you get to realize they were struggling in this, and because their spaces are better and their mental health and wealth is just at a better place. Families are at a better place. So that's why we love to rebirth spaces.
I am Olivia Otieno, and do not be surprised if you start to hear Christmas carols. 'Tis the season after all, plus some 90s chart toppers. This week I was just feeling 90s. For some reason I was just feeling 90s. But we are currently on the subject of Your Home, Your Sanctuary in partnership with MRM. Mabati Rolling Mills are celebrating 60 years as your trusted building solutions partner. Shout out Nyinyi wote, Rita, Harry, Jane, Anthony, Nawajua, even your CEO, Anders Longgreen. Nimewasalimia. Is that correct, Swahili? Terryanne, you're laughing because I think I'm not gonna ask Mandi. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nimewasalimia.
Nimewasalimia.
What one is Salimika?
What to look at her. So Terryanne, tell me, you are the CEO of Care Botanicals. Mm-hmm. How much of that work do you carry out at home?
Well, during COVID, of course, we actually closed our office and moved completely home.
Yes.
But a couple months ago, we decided to go back into the office. So basically 9 to 5, I'm at work.
Yes.
But, on the random day, especially during the half terms or when my kids are home, I'll try to work a lot more from the house.
Yes.
So it's a mix, but I'd really love, to be in a beautiful space. So whether it's the office or at home, I just, I like it to be pretty.
So tell me about how you've prettied up your space and the different spaces within your home.
So recently I got, I got approached by Crown Paints
Yes.
to come on board as a brand ambassador. And it just happened when I moved into this house that I absolutely love.
Yes.
Apart from the kitchen.
There's always that one space. Huh? What you going up Nini? Like, what's going on?
It's such a beautiful house. And
Yeah.
I had always had, browns and golds and earth tones in every house I lived in. But I was just looking for something new and completely different. So I went for silvers and grey and then pink for my bedroom. I like to
I
think
saw
it's
that.
an adult pink.
I saw it on Instagram. I was like, I love this.
And I even painted the wardrobe doors pink.
Wow.
So the entire room is pink, but
Yes.
it's a pretty pink. So that happened, and it's been such a beautiful journey of just trying to see which pieces work where.
Yes.
I had to change everything, of course, my sofas, my everything, because it was just not working with this new colors that I wanted.
So you reupholstered them, or you got rid of them and just got new stuff?
So guess what? I got a call from these guys in Nigeria who are setting up a thing here.
I always ignore because I think when someone called me from Nigeria, ni scam.
I know, but they actually sent me a sofa set.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Okay. We're gonna pause. We're gonna pause on that. Okay. I've never received a sofa set from a man, so I'm gonna pause on that. I'm gonna go to Claire. I'm gonna ask Claire, when you want to paint your wardrobes, do you have to sandpaper them, or like what is the? Because I'm really curious. I never knew you could actually do that. And you're an interior designer. Do you get people asking to change from that terrible wooden or what is it, off-white that they come in?
I call it landlord cream.
Landlord.
Because most of our Kenyan landlords like to put that color.
Yeah.
They say it hides the dirt when a tenant is sitting in. But when you're painting, you just need to put universal. If it's a gloss paint,
Yes.
you need to put universal undercoat and paint it. But also it depends the house you live in. If it's laminated particle board, then you probably have to just, put an undercoat, then paint it. But if it's a gloss paint, like maybe what was in Terryanne's house, they'd have to put a universal undercoat, then pick a color that just appeals to you, and your space should reflect your personality. So
So you don't have to do any sandpapering or removing of the other thing, or
no,
okay.
no. You don't have to do that.
Mandy,
Yes.
your story is interesting because you have this amazing brand.
Yes.
It's all around food. It's all around entertainment. You create this amazing video content at home.
Yes. my house is my studio, it's my home, it's everything. It's my fulfillment center now for products.
Yes.
Like my house is everything. But I've noticed as a content creator, before I moved into any apartments, once I started of course creating content, first, the higher up the house is, the better the light. So that's number one. Two, I had to get rid of landlord cream. Like, no, we are not doing that. And then three, I actually had asked my landlord if I could take apart the cabinet doors.
Okay.
Yeah, so that to make the place feel airy and light. So he allowed me to do
Cabinet doors for your wardrobes or for the kitchen?
that for the kitchen. Because it's my set.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like when they're closed, everything just looks dull. Because
Yeah,
already
and
the
80s.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the doors are MDF and they're beige. They're just boring.
Yeah.
But when you take them down,
Yeah.
it makes the place feel very airy and light because the inside of the boards are white.
Yes. Yeah.
The walls are white. The tiles are white. So
Yes.
everything just looks very light.
May I ask overall,
Yes.
like in your kitchen space,
Yeah.
when you were doing all of that, roughly how much did it cost you?
I think under 20K.
Under 20K.
Yeah.
Claire, can you attest to that?
Well, kitchens, we were having that discussion before we came in
Yeah.
here. And Terryanne was asking, Claire, why are kitchens so expensive? Well, one thing I told them, it all boils down to taste and preference. So if you have a superior taste, you'll spend more
Okay,
money.
we're gonna pause on that because I definitely have a superior taste. We're gonna talk about my taste in a minute. Let me play some songs. Kesha is gonna be coming out. The track is TikTok on Double O Direct. I had to just play that hook, give us a bit of a break, and then get back to the fact that you need to understand your taste, to understand your budget. Claire, we're not talking about appliances. We're just talking about maybe the tiles, the surface, the sink, the cabinetry. It really can get very expensive.
Yes.
Okay, but if I want to, let's be honest. Let's say we are all in rental spaces,
Yeah.
right? And we just want to do something that we know is temporary because we don't own that home, and we need something that's safe because we don't want something that the landlord is going to have big problems with. So, firstly, the overhead LED light,
Yes.
terrible,
The fluorescent tube.
terrible.
Well, there's so many suppliers who sell in lighting.
Okay.
And you see, when you buy a lighting fixture, you can always move it with it to a new home.
Yes.
So that to improve the lighting, if you don't want the harsh white light,
Yes.
go to a supplier, buy a lighting fixture that appeals to you.
Yes.
Then buy warm white bulbs.
Warm white.
Yes, it just changes the ambience.
Okay, so quick question. Is there a particular type of fixture that works better in a kitchen space? You know, there's a lot of steam, there's maybe oil particles,
Yes.
smoke, whatever it is. Like, what should I look for when I'm going for that overhead kitchen lighting fixture?
I think, of course, there's budget, but you look at your taste,
Yes.
the size of the space, how high are the ceilings, how low are they. So when you're looking at all those things, that will determine what kind of lighting fixture you'll buy.
Is it okay to have exposed bulbs in a kitchen? Because maybe they put that fluorescent light because it's covered, and ain't nothing gonna touch it. Is it okay to have an exposed bulb, the same kind of bulb you have maybe in your living room before
Yes,
you
it
put a
is.
lampshade?
Yes, we do it all the time because it's just glass. It's more or less the same glass that have been used on the fluorescent. Well, they put the fluorescent because it lasts longer, so, and it's affordable. Let me tell you, your landlord is not there to make your life all
Luxurious.
they're in a business. So they'll put the bare minimum.
Yes.
So the rest, it's up to you just to improve your space to your taste. How do you want to feel when you're cooking? When you're in your personal space, in your living room, in your bedroom, that boils down to you.
Terryanne, you're talking about the fact that you moved into a fantastic space. You've been doing some renovations. You've put your crown paints on your wall and even on your wardrobes. What is it you didn't like about your kitchen, though?
The tiles.
I know.
Do they have the landlord cream?
They're white.
Okay.
Thankfully. So I don't like the tiles, but I also don't
On the
like
floor
the
or on the
cabinets.
walls?
All of it.
Okay.
And the cabinets.
Yes.
They're so high. I'm like, which 7-foot
Yes.
person
So
is supposed to? So we have to climb on a stool to reach the.
Olivia, if I can comment on
Yes.
what Terryanne is saying. You see, when we're designing like kitchens, there's something we call ergonomics.
Yes.
Just basically the art of science in relation to the human dimensions. So a high level cabinet should start 600 millimeters from the base cabinet.
Yes.
And you find most landlords put it high above. So you find what Terryanne is saying, you have to get a stool or a ladder
Yes.
in your home so that you can able to access that.
Or a very tall partner.
Yes.
It would need like a 7-foot person.
Yes.
It makes no
So
sense.
design principles are probably not followed in most rental homes, and we are hoping as the landlords build or the developers, they could consider such things because there's ergonomics. It needs to be, if she's struggling, there is a problem in the design.
Mandi, you mentioned that the higher up you stay, especially if you're in an apartment, the better the lighting, right? What additional lighting do you need? Because you work in your work at home, you work in your kitchen, it's your set as well. What have you done with regards to modification and lighting?
I've done very little.
Yeah.
But I usually rent out lights when I'm shooting my content to brighten up the space. And that's about it. Like, I just use lights all the time when I'm shooting content, because when I don't, the content looks dull. It just doesn't look as appealing. And also, there's a lot of more apartments that are coming up, and they're blocking the natural light that organically comes into the home. So that's why I use lights.
I'm going to ask you a business-related question,
Right.
and this is going into your business. You can choose not to answer it, but because a lot of people are now working from home and lighting is a major issue, roughly how much do you rent those lights for?
Each time I shoot?
Yes.
About 8,000.
8,000 shillings. And you have it the whole day?
Yes.
Or, okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Now, ladies, I wanted to ask you about the fact that you have people in your home when you shoot, and it's your workspace and it's your home space. How do you manage that from a boundaries perspective?
Oh, wow. It's quite difficult, but I feel like I set the tone. So whenever people come in, I'm usually like, what does everybody want to drink?
Yes.
I put that out.
Yes.
What does everybody want to snack on?
Yes.
The bathroom is here. Please use the bathroom. If you need house slippers, they're here. So I kind of like lay out ground rules when people come to visit me in my home.
Yes.
It allows me to take charge, and it allows for me to create that boundary. Like, nobody goes into my bedroom. Because
Okay.
the equipment is everywhere. I have a production manager who's seated on the couch watching the whole thing. So I've had to create strict boundaries.
Fantastic. Terryanne, with your family and especially with children as they're growing, right? How have you modified your space, from birth, infancy, toddlers, those terrible twos, and now into, a little girl?
One of the compromises I had to make when I moved to this house was actually because of the space. My kids like pets. We've got cats. We had 7 dogs at one point.
Wow.
We don't have any now. But we've always had, so I wanted a space where we could hang out, eat outside, play. I love flowers.
Yes.
So I think I'm the best tenant anybody could ever have. So one of the first things I do is to plant, make sure that the grass is great.
Yes.
I do a lot of flowers. I water them myself sometimes when I can. So one of the biggest compromises I made was, yes, the house it's a little smaller than I'd like,
yes,
but the compound is huge.
Wow.
And it's very beautiful. So for me, it's our family space, and we love to stay outside, hang out. I transformed the parking into a little patio area.
Yes.
So we sit outside, we eat outside as well. So I love that. And my kids love it because they can play outside and they don't have to just, stay indoors all the time. So yeah.
Good afternoon. I am Double O. This is Double O Direct every Saturday from 10 a.m. Music by women guests, and I'm dressed by a different woman in fashion each week. I have just changed the top, right? This is still by Odongo. I love it. I'm going to put on the pants in a second when I have time. Good thing is, it's radio. Where's Ziona? Thank you so much, Dr. Aomo Omoro. Odd Aomo on Instagram. Check it out. Tomorrow she got a show at the Hemingways. It's going to be fire. But I'm still with the phenomenal Terryanne Chebet, the ebullient Miss Mandi, and the creative Claire Odongo. Your home, your sanctuary. We're talking about how your space affects your mood, how your space affects your productivity. Mm-hmm. Claire.
Yes.
You're an interior designer.
Yes.
How are people affected?
Well, first things, people have too much clutter.
Yes!
People are hoarding too much. Kenyans have a problem with hoarding. I don't know if it's something we picked from our parents.
No, my mom is a hoarder. That's what I knew even for free. My mother is a hoarder, but I love her
You'll
anyway.
see our balconies.
Yes.
Hikiti hatutauza because of such and such. So the balconies are full, and 10 years later, it's rained and
Yes.
those things are spoiled. So when you have chaos, you cannot have peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So too much clutter, wrong colors in your space, wrong coordination of elements in design, texture,
Yes.
pattern, and all those things.
Yes.
The wrong scale and proportion of your furniture.
Yes.
So
If you want the biggest sofa set,
exactly.
you must have the biggest car, the biggest backside,
Yes.
and the biggest sofa set. Mandi,
Yes.
how does your space affect your mood and your productivity?
Oh my God, I've had to create a schedule around shoot days. We can't just erratically shoot. Like, it has to be planned because I am just tired of too many people in my house all the time.
Yeah.
So we shoot twice or 3 times in a month. It's all structured.
In a month?
Yes. And we block shoot. So in a day, we can shoot 2 to 3 recipes.
Wow.
So I know I don't have to see these people for another 2 weeks. Like, it gives me time. And I've also gone ahead to make my balcony a really good chill area. So it has plants. It has a bed.
Yes.
I have like a little trolley for drinks there.
Yes.
So I love it. I love
Yes.
sitting out there, basking in the sun, and just being inspired. Yeah.
Terryanne, how does your space affect your mood and your productivity?
Do you know when I started doing especially my bedroom, I remember thinking I want to walk into my room and it feels like a hotel, like a hotel room.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the
Yeah.
brief we get a lot.
Yeah, and
Okay, I'm going to pause for 1 second. This might be taboo. But when you have a dude over, does the pink feel I'm just gonna, because I thought about it, I don't think Mister would really want a pink bedroom. But now that, if you have company.
actually I have thought about it.
Yeah.
So nobody has said anything.
They would
yet.
never, let me tell you, they're firstly just honored and privileged.
Yes.
Yeah, to be in your bedroom. But anyway, continue your story.
So I did want that space to feel, to lolook like to feel like a hotel room.
Yes.
The quality of the mattress, and it's
Yes.
everything. It's not
Yes.
just the color. But then I remember when we had to sort of move out of the house a little bit when the paint work was being done.
Yes.
And when we came back, it was like new lease of life.
Yes.
It's so beautiful, and I'm just like, this is our house. Like, it's no. I love how that made me feel.
For the benefit of those listening, let me ask you, how long did you have to be out of there for that renovation to take place?
About 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah.
That is a long time. But was that just for your bedroom, or was like
No,
cleaning the whole house?
The whole house. So it was
Okay.
everything. It was scheming. We did the roof, the ceiling
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
What do you call that thing? The white one.
The gypsum. or
Gypsum.
what? Yes.
Yeah. So and that's a lot of work.
See,
Yes,
that's
it's
why I
quite
have
dusty.
Claire.
Yeah. And very dusty.
Yes.
So you,
So you
you,
can't
you
be in
can't
the
be in
house.
that house.
Okay.
Especially with kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't. So
Yeah.
we stayed with my sister and a friend for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hemingways, I'm going to be doing my house. Book me some space. I'm just kidding. Okay, so you were away for 7 days. They did all the fumes, everything had disappeared by then?
Yes, because the paint is not an oil paint.
Okay.
So it actually doesn't, apart from,
falls.
the one that's on the door or the window.
The
grills.
gloss paint.
Yes, the gloss paint.
Yes.
But everything else, there's no,
So
absolutely
tell
no
me
smell.
about the psychology of the entire bedroom space, everything from the mattress to the carpets to the lighting.
So first I did the wood paneling. It has a name, but I forget what it's called.
I need
The
to see
paneling.
a
Oh, for the
The wall, one
headboard.
of the wall.
no, not the
One-
headboard, just the paneling of the outline of wood pieces on
Yes,
the wall.
yes.
Okay,
What-
yes.
what do they call
it's like
it?
paneling.
It's just wood paneling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. So I really love how it looks. It gives it this,
Depth.
crown.
Yeah.
Like you're in a movie.
Yes.
That was filmed in Britain.
Yes,
in-
it's
I
not
don't know,
everyone
but
wants
yeah.
to go to your bedroom. This is where we're going. Yeah.
It's so, and it's I was like, it had been so long since I had a really good mattress, a really good bed, because you forget about those things. You had your bed or you had your
Yes,
mattress for
yes.
years.
Yes.
And I just wanted everything
Okay.
new. And
Yes.
like I sit on my bed, I'm just like, I love this room.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
What are the carpets like? Or the floor?
I haven't put in the carpets yet. I'm wondering whether I'm going to do
Rugs?
wall to wall
Yeah.
or rugs.
Okay.
I haven't made a decision yet.
Claire, what it would be your 2 cents? Wall to wall or rugs?
Care and maintenance. It's up to you.
Okay.
Depending on this, where you stay, is it dusty?
Yeah.
Are you able to clean it easily?
Yes.
If do you have issues with probably breathing and all that, because carpets generally tend to contain a lot of dust and all that. So
Yes.
if you're doing wall to wall, just be ready to keep on cleaning it so that the dust doesn't settle. So it just all boils down to your personal taste and preference.
Now, you talked about clutter.
Yes.
And to get rid of clutter, of course, you have to get rid of some of the things, but you also have to find proper storage solutions, right? I'm going to come to you, Mandi, because you obviously do a lot in your home. How do you compartmentalize? How do you store all your stuff, including just your personal things?
Oh, so first things in the kitchen.
Yes.
I just noticed there wasn't enough cabinet space.
Yes.
So I went ahead to build my own makeshift pantry. So it's quite huge, and it has wicker baskets at the bottom for storage.
So are
that's not-
those installed or are they
No.
removable?
They're removable because
Okay.
the whole structure is removable as well.
Okay.
So that's one. And then in my room, I ended up getting a desk, especially during COVID. So I got a desk. I have cabinets at the bottom as well, so I'm able to store my stuff. But my space is quite small, so
Yes.
I have to find new ways to figure out storage.
Yes.
Underneath my bed, there's some drawers as well, so I have storage space there as well.
Terryanne, you have 2 children. You have a teenager and you have a toddler or a preschooler. How do you manage storage? Because I have just the one, and there's just stuff,
First of all, every year we do a, at the end of the year, whatever doesn't fit, whatever we haven't worn, we give it away.
Okay.
So that takes care of the the clothes.
Yes.
And actually, I'm the hoarder. I think for the kids, the rooms are perfect. Like
Yes.
they have enough storage. I don't. And I keep asking myself, how many handbags do I need?
Is there really a number? We're going to get to that. That is hurting my heart. Yeah? We're going to pause on that. What are some of the storage solutions you give to your clients, Claire?
Depending on whether the space is your own home or you've rented, like Mandi has said, you can get things like wicker baskets. Right now, if you go to places like the game or the builders or just online, you'll see there's a lot of storage solutions where you can get nice plastic tins that you're able to store your things, nice wicker baskets, or just nice, you can get a poof that has storage. So if you're putting in things, there are quite a number of solutions. And if it's your home, just changing maybe the design of the wardrobes and adding more storage. So it really boils down to, is the space personally yours? Is it your home, or are you renting out? And if you're renting out, which probably a bigger percentage is, there are solutions online. There are so many storage solutions, and they come in different colors, designs, and sizes.
You've mentioned color. It's really, really important. I understand that, Terryanne, you went for a pink bedroom. What's the color scheme maybe in your lounge area or living room?
Silver gray.
Silver gray. Mandy?
For what? Which
your
area?
living room and, of course, your kitchen.
My living room is very bohemian. It's
Yes.
like blue couch, very tribal carpet.
Yes.
My balcony area is very gray.
Yes.
Gray and white.
Yes.
Those are the tones that I
Yes.
go with. My kitchen is brown and white. I don't know if there's a name for that, but that's
Yes.
the tone there.
Very
But my
earthy.
bedroom is all black.
All black.
Oh, wow.
Apart from the walls, like I love all black.
I love what you talked about your bedroom being all black. I have an issue with lighting. I'm photophobic. I know. I'm working in this very bright environment, but I actually am. So I wanted to find out, for example, one thing that really bothers me, especially when you're in an apartment, is all the noise, like the noise from outside.
Yes.
And I've noticed that we don't have like insulating windows. Primarily, most rentals don't come with insulating windows. So what can we do to insulate our spaces, especially our bedrooms, working with what we have in a rental space?
Okay, one of the things, generally, if you get into an empty room, there'll be a lot of echoing and all that.
Yes.
So, of course, you've dressed your windows. So, what kind of fabric are you choosing to dress your windows? So, because if it's a light fabric,
Yes.
I mean, it won't be able to absorb so much noise. So, the more you fill a room, the better you
But
absorb.
you just told us, Claire, not to clutter.
I've not said clutter.
Yeah.
It depends the materials you're using to fill your
So
room.
what are great materials for drapes,
Like
for
you-
example?
You can make sure you line your curtains.
Okay.
Or you put blackout in your curtains.
Okay.
For your bed, maybe you can do it upholstered. Introduce a carpet. This is just elements that are adding, or features that are adding, they're absorbing the sound in your space, you
Yes,
know?
yes.
Yeah, and just maybe paneling, but it's a thing that needs to be considered when
Yes.
building. I think it's just the nature of how our homes are in Kenya, that there's a lot of noise here and there, but how the materials you use can be a way of absorbing sound and reducing the sound.
I'm going to ask each and every one of you, starting from Claire. Wallpaper, yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
Mandy, yes or no? Wallpaper.
Maybe.
Look at this chick, I swear. Terryanne, wallpaper, yes or no?
Contact paper, yes.
Of the romantic comedy. So many I see you, Mandy, agreeing. So many romantic comedies with Christina Milian, and she's killing it. She's found her niche.
Yeah, that is definitely her niche. And she also has a beignet shop in LA, so she sells mandazis. Beignets and mandazis.
I was like, I was like, what are beignets? I was like bidets,
Mandazis. They just went to group of schools. That's what they call them.
Oh yeah. Shut up, everybody at Braybird. Yeah. But seriously, okay. The track is Say I on 90.6 SpiceFM in Nakuru. We are still streaming standardmedia.co.ke. It is the afternoon. I've kind of upgraded my outfit, Kidogo. Yeah, I'm getting myself ready for my Saturday. Let me tell you. If you see me today after 6, just keep on walking. You just keep on walking. You don't know me. Because chances are I will not know you. No, just kidding. I'm Olivia Oteno with you every Saturday from 10 a.m. And we're still going strong. Coming up, music by Britney Spears and one by Alice DJ. Any of you know Alice DJ?
No.
Shame. I'm going to educate you. And I can guarantee that you have not heard this track in a while. But we're still on the topic. Your home, your sanctuary. I'm joined by 3 phenomenal women. Claire Odongo, Mandi Sarrow, Terryanne Chebet. We need to know those never, ever, ever. Please don't do this. And those instances, you've walked into somebody's home and you've been like, hey. You seemed a normal person when we met. Like, what is happening in this space? Man, I'm going to start with you.
The odd things that you had mentioned, the odd things that we should look out for,
Yes.
right? So sometimes when I go into people's houses, I actually definitely judge them for that, like little kitchen peephole. Like, why does it exist? It feels very colonial, but that's besides the point. Outside of that, I whenever I move into a space, I think every content creator needs to go to the space and vet it at least 6 times. Why? We have Nairobi sounds, right? Nairobi is a big construction site. You're always hearing. So you have to look out for that. 2, clean water trucks. How often do they come, and will they, interfere when you're vlogging?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's a very big concern. And also kids. I have nothing against them, but you kind of just need to know that block you're living in. Do they have a lot of kids?
You know what, Mandi?
Yes.
I actually look for blocks with no kids.
Yeah.
I have
You have a kid.
There are no kids. In fact, I saw a pregnant woman the other day. I just looked at her like, keep walking. Keep walking. Continue, Mandi.
Yeah, so that's another thing that I look out for. And also, I would say possibly like transport sounds, because those interfere as well. But for the most part, that's it. That little kitchen hole, like, why does it
Kitchen people.
It's the contractor.
I know.
It's blame the architect.
Claire, as an interior designer, what can you do about it?
Well, if
How can you transform that space into something Mandi will tolerate?
like if it's your home, you can open it up and have a open plan kitchen. If it's still your home, you can block it up. But
Can you
if
put
you're
like drapery? Can you like block it off and then like drape something so it covers
just
it?
build the stones or use gypsum to block it. Yeah, actually gypsum is quite affordable. Yeah, you can, even though you're renting, because it's something you can remove. But for me, the curtain box, then you have the curtains hanging just like a string.
Wait.
It's just a no.
Who are these people whose homes you frequent that have that? No, specifically. Okay, apart from that, what are your other hard stops? What have you seen that has really shocked you? But I see what you mean with the curtain.
So there's the curtains. Of course, I don't like the landlord cream. It just ticks me off. And the wall units where our moms would put glasses and the TVs there in front. So that's just a no.
Oh, okay, Terryanne, over to you.
One, I guess, first, small windows,
Yes.
because it makes the house so dark. And I'm like, for me, I would never live in a house that has small windows.
When I was house hunting, I think they have vampires because it's like only a vampire would be comfortable with these tiny windows. It's like they don't want you to see outside. Okay, I understand the small
I'm
windows.
curious, is it are windows expensive? Like, why do they have to be so small in some places?
Is the glass a cost?
Well, more of the support structure, the load bearing, more of the beam. Just make it's more expensive to have bigger windows.
Okay.
Yes, when constructing.
But not like when we're living in
also-
Canada with the heating and everything. I mean, we have heat houses here.
But also, I think it's just a mindset for our architects that they need to embrace people love big windows.
Okay.
And it depends the brief the client has given them.
Yes.
Yes. So, because they're trying to, the landlord is cutting down on costs, so they'll not put for you big windows.
all right.
The chuma,
Yeah.
the glass,
Yes.
it's more expensive than using the stones.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. But there's nothing you can do about that. So you just
Yeah.
have to forfeit or forego that
Yeah.
apartment if it has very small windows.
Yeah.
What else?
What else? Color.
Okay.
There's, there was an orange that was such
Yes.
an in.
I had it.
No?
And the lime green.
And the lime green. Mandy, you came to my house when we had that party.
Yeah, and you had like a colorful home. There was a lot going on.
There was a lot. It was a tumultuous time in my past. Okay, so for you, color is a big thing. Small windows is a big
Yeah.
thing. What parting words do you have with regards to your home, your sanctuary? Because it's a space that's supposed to be safe, productive, uplifting. It's where you go to find peace when the world has more or less beaten you down. Terryanne, I'll start with you.
I'd say, first of all, there's so many inexpensive ways you can spruce up your house.
Yes.
And then, using anything from plants, keeping your colors very minimal, not throwing in 100 different colors, and just making it your space. Because, at the end of the day, yes, some people would say, I just go home to sleep. But how do you feel when you walk into your house? And It doesn't have to be expensive. Most of us are in rented homes.
Yes.
And I still think there's so much you can do with your space to just make it beautiful. And it feels nice when people come in and they're like, wow, I love your
Of course, we love that.
house.
We love that. It's like when you're wearing a hot outfit, you want them to
Exactly.
compliment you and say like, yo, Mandi.
For me, it would be first ask your landlord if you can get rid of landlord cream, if you can spruce up the space with other things, because I truly believe you need to ask for that permission.
Yes.
And then 3, it's make the space, own it, like make it yours. And less sometimes is more. I've noticed a lot of people like a lot of things, but do you need a lot of things to make a space beautiful, or is just enough what you need?
Fantastic. Claire?
So for me, minimal things in your home, greenery. Just every space I design, I try to introduce greenery.
Yes.
And just introduce your personality. The way you like dressing and looking good out there, bring it to your home.
Thank you so much. Interiors by Claire, Miss Mandi Throwdown, MMTD Kitchenware.
Yes.
Right? And Kiara Botanicals CEO. In fact, we're having an off-mic conversation about the amazing skin that you have, Terryanne Chebet.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
You
Thank you too.